final lap on the program. The ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, may have conducted its state congresses across the country, but over 1 week after the party is still trying to pick up the pieces in some states. You have Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Kano, Kwara, Akwa Ibom, Oyo. And as I speak with you, there are meetings ongoing within the party on the way forward. But then how will the party navigate these so-called land mines? Well, our guest tonight on the program is Mr. Farouk Adamu, who is an APC chieftain. He joins us live from our Abuja studio. It's great to see you again, Mr. Aliyu. Well, before we get into some of those, politicking within your party, I'm not going to spare you in that conversation around affirmative action. So let me ask you squarely, for your party, the APC, how would you rate your performance in that area?
Well, extremely well. We're doing very well as far as the women are concerned in the APC. They are taking place all over the place in governance, in terms of party as well. So we're good, and the women in APC are not complaining. So until when they start complaining, then probably we start talking about that. But for now, we're good.
I know you're fully aware of the constitution of the Extraordinary Caretaker Committee and the members on it. How many women are there on that committee?
I honestly can't remember how many women are there, but definitely there are representatives of women in the committee. Definitely.
But do you have an idea how many members are in that Extraordinary Caretaker Committee?
Well, there are more men, definitely. I don't know how many, but there are more men than women. But that does not mean we are relegating the women to the background. And my older sister that left here spoke about women, how good they are, how better than men they are. Yeah, we concede that, look, women can compete with us. And that, so I think the women folk shouldn't complain. She said it, that they even beat us in school and so on and so forth. So which means let us go and compete with them. And if they beat us to it, sure, why not? Because you know that this saying that whatever a man can do, a woman can do better. So I think we are partners in progress.
Okay.
Look, on a serious note,
right.
On a serious note, our party and our government is concerned about the women, and women are taken into consideration at all times.
Okay, I wonder what yardstick you use to say that your party is doing quite well. So I'm going to list out the names of the members of the Extraordinary Caretaker Committee, and you tell me which of them you know is a woman. So you have Governor Mimala Buni, who is the chairman, Isiaka Oyebola. You have Ken Namani, Stella Okorete, who is a women rep. You have Governor Sani Bello, Dr. James Lalu, Senator Abubakar Yusuf, Honorable Akiemi Olaide, David Leon, Abari, Professor Tahir Maman, Ismail Ahmed, and Senator Akmanu Doede. So those are names on the Extraordinary Caretaker Committee. How many of them do you identify as women?
One. Just one.
So would you still rate your party doing quite well in that area?
Yeah, but I told you that the women aren't complaining. The women in our party are not complaining. And you know, this is an ad hoc arrangement. It's not any permanent thing. It's not like the real party structure. This is just an ad hoc arrangement that will midwife the real party structure that will come to take place.
So 1 out of 13 is essentially 14%. Just before we move into the major issue, I just want to clear this out. What is, perhaps your party's view on affirmative action? What percentage? How does it work really within the APC?
Well, you see, there's this agitation really all along. Women feel they are relegated to the background in the country, in governance, and so on. So this is like a teething problem for all of us as a nation. We are trying to ensure that women are given rightful positions. And from our government, you could see we have Minister of Finance headed by a woman. So you could see how well we rate women in our government and so on. And as I said, it's a teething problem in the country which we collectively, APC, PDP, other parties, are trying to address to ensure that the women folk don't feel left behind in governance and in terms of party activities.
Okay, so let's get into the conversation around the state congress, the conflicts we saw and the aftermath. But I'd like you to listen to this. This came out of the Lagos the Lagos Congress, Lagos, which is essentially the party's stronghold, or one of the party's stronghold in the nation. So I want you to listen to this, and then we'll come into the issues.
You can't shy away from the fact that there are tendencies in Lagos. This is you sitting on a keg of gunpowder. If you really love this party, you see, you should just wake up to the fact.
You talk about having a crowd that's untested. We are tested in elections. We were recently tested on the by-elections. We won massively.
That crowd should worry you.
In the local government.
That crowd should worry you because that crowd is within that party.
You mobilize on news credits and corners without following the guidelines.
Okay, if we can do that, why can't you do that? Why can't you then do that? Okay, if we can do that, if an individual can do that, why can't you as a government do that?
We went to a stadium to observe the COVID protocol.
What COVID protocol do you went to stadium to observe?
Everywhere. You are outsider in the party, and you are not even trying to
integrate yourself. You can't call me an outsider in the party. I voted you, local government chairman. When you were local government chairman, I voted for you. Yes, I was a party member. I was in school. When you were party, I was in school when you were local government chairman. I don't know if you should be proud.
And paid you respect.
So that's just a snippet, really. Mr. Sheye Oladejo, Lagos APC Chieftain, and Mr. Jide Adediro of the Lagos faction of the Lagos APC. So, I mean, that's just one of the several states which we've seen. I just wanted you to, properly situate this. And, one of them spoke about tendencies within the party. You cannot take away the fact that there will always be tendencies, essentially different agitations, different interests. And the question will be, just how strong is the party structure, the APC party structure, in managing all these tendencies? And there seem to be huge tendencies really threatening to break the party apart.
Well, breaking the party apart is not true. Tendencies, yes, it's true. We have tendencies. But you see, even before this, the Congress that took place about a week ago, the party, in its wisdom, instituted a committee headed by the former governor of Nasarawa State, with serving Senator Abdullahi Adamu, to take care of these kind of teething problems that we are sure will arise from the Congresses. And they've started work. And it's normal. In politics, you will have different ideas, different tendencies, different approach to things. But in the long run, the justice will prevail. I assure you that APC is going to look into these allegations. Of course, there are some places where some governors were high-handed, and there are some places where other members of the party also didn't help matters. But it's normal in politics. I mean, all parties, wherever you have gathering of people, you will have different approach to things, different ideas, different way of doing things. But in the long run, remember, we are the ruling party. Remember, everybody looks up to the ruling party, unless in the party. We all look up to the leadership. So I assure you that these crises all over where you have them will be sorted out before the National Convention. That is why, in the wisdom of the leaders of the party, we have not set up a date yet for the National Convention. This is all to ensure that we smoothen all the rough edges, to ensure that we sort out the problems and get into the main convention with little or no problems. But of course, it's normal. So to us politicians, this is normal. People will complain, people will cry, and so on and so forth. But in the long run, justice will prevail, and people will get justice, fairness, and equity.
And I think that's a big issue. Justice, fairness, and equity. I mean, regardless who is involved. And if, as you say, that some governors have handled issues, with high-handedness, as it were, would your party really go ahead to sanction perhaps those state governors or other VIPs, big personalities within the party? Is that something your party will do?
That I assure you that nobody is bigger than the party. Nobody. Not any governor is bigger than the party. No individual, actually. Nobody is bigger than us collectively at the party. So any one of us who decide not to toe the constitution or the general aggregation of the views of the members of the party in his locality will be sanctioned. That I assure you, and I'm sure the leaders, the leaders of our party know that nobody is above the party. Nobody that cannot be sanctioned. Nobody can come and tell you that, look, I own this party. This APC belongs to Nigerians. And so Nigerians will decide, the leadership will decide and sanction where sanctions need to be given to anybody. But I assure you, in the long run, we will.
Let me just bring this home. Are you saying that the party perhaps can suspend a sitting state governor? I mean, can go ahead and do that, you know, regardless whose ox is gored. Are you saying that that is something on the table?
Absolutely. I am confirming to you that any state governor, no, wait, I'm not saying a governor, anybody, which means anybody who goes against the constitution of the party will be sanctioned, certainly. But before we get to that, that's why I told you, listen to me, listen. That's why I said, look, that's why we're reconciling. There are bound to be differences. There are people who will be together today, and for certain reasons, tomorrow they will not be together. So we are trying to reconcile. And if anybody tells you that everything will be smooth and clear, no. Of course, some will accept, some will not accept. But the generality of the whole situation will come to be settlement and give and take. So whether a governor, a minister, or whoever will be sanctioned appropriately if he goes against the party.
Well, this looks like a conversation we'll be having in the coming days, because clearly there are a lot of issues. But I'd like to thank you so much, Mr. Farouk Adamu Aliyu, an APC chieftain, for your time tonight on the program. And it's great to see you again.
Thank you.
Well, that has been the show for tonight, everyone. It looks like it's going to be a big week, politically speaking. So stay with us as we unwrap the issues for you in the coming days. I'm Kayode Okikelu. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic night ahead.